Welcome everybody. Welcome back to TI Gen 4 Racing League. Your place for Gen 4s on Monday nights. As we got 90 action-packed laps here at Rockingham going down tonight. As the 48 of Tim Abril is up top of the leaderboards. And if you're familiar with TI, then you're familiar with that name. Blast from the past making a return tonight, and he's already top of the leaderboard. Followed by Elijah Enos in the 43 machine. On your screen right now is the number 8 of Kyle Ether, last season's champion in the Selena 52 truck stop machine. As he's got Piss Jugman right there on the hood and on the bumper of that GTR. As he's sitting 5th tonight on the speed charts. Here's a look at last week's winner, the 7 of Joshua Dunn in the CFT Brigade machine. Trying to bring a team championship to those guys this season. And the 92, Daniel Giroux making his return this week. Of course, as soon as I bring him up, he hits the wall. What the hell, Daniel? There's his teammate in the Valvoline 91, smoking the inside wall. Right along Kyle, you can tell how bumpy this track really. If Kyle wins, tomorrow they're giving out free piss drugs at the truck stop. All right. A lot of pressure on Kyle tonight. There's a look at the TI Racing leader himself, Chris Lewis in the 111. Deciding to mow the grass a little bit there. Joshua Dunn taking it for a ride through the grass there. Here's a look at the 6th car of Sean McLean. The 57 of Dylan McLean there. Third on the speed charts, the Volkswagen Craig Martin in the 22 machine. Showtime Racing, last season's team champions there. paint job, just making sure to let TI Racing know. He doesn't want Chris to ever forget that one. All right, we got about another 50 seconds left here in practice. This is the time for you to go get your drinks, go get your snacks, and get ready, because we're going to have some action going down here real quick. Here's a look at tonight's sponsor, the 59, John Russo. Let's see what type of time he puts down for his qualifying here. Oh, he gets a little bit loose coming off of 4. And that's going to burn up both of his laps right there. Here's a legal and fast and Nick Euricchio. That lap there just put Nick on the outside pole. Let's see if that holds up. Greg Martin right now at the top of your leaderboard. You seen Tim get in the wall there a little bit off of 2. He's got some damage to the right front there. He's going to reset. Daniel Giroux with a top 5 effort there. Out of Paw Paw, West Virginia. Holy shit, I did not know this. Funny story about Paw Paw, West Virginia. One time I went there to do some pro wrestling training at Firehawks. They were having an independent show that day. Imagine taking a lowered VR6 Volkswagen Jetta MK3 through a creek because your GPS at the time said that it was a great idea to take you down a 4x4 trail. Love technology way back in 2007. But Tim's lap good enough to put him there on outside pole. '20 car Colby Wells sitting 11th right now. He gets a little bit loose coming out 4. He is still able to bump himself up to 9th. Well, B, he made the call at the very last moment. The 37 of Casey Carrington is in the house. Did not see him on tonight's entry list. Casey up to 5th with his first lap. We'll see what he does on his second lap here. Casey Carrington to the top of the leaderboard. All right, let's take a look at tonight's lineup for 90 laps here at Rockingham. On pole, Casey Carrington in 37. Outside him, the 22 of Craig Martin. Showtime Racing taking the front row. Tim Averill starting 3rd. Josh Dillon 4th. Nick Uricchio 5th. Logan Hamilton 6th. Daniel Giroux starting 7th. Outside him, the 7 of Joshua Dunn. Dylan Rosenberg 9th. Kyle Ether starting 10th in the Selena 52 truck stop machine. Colby Wells starting 11th. Steve Melnick starting 12th. 13th, you have Dalton Wilson firing off 14th. Sean McLean, Dallas Childress, and Mitchell Mark make up row number 8. Row number 9, John Russo and Elijah Enos. Chris Lewis starting 19th. Dylan McLean 20th. And round out your field starting 21st, Quinn McLean. I think we're just waiting for Craig and a few others to grid up. We'll get this underway. There's a look at that Timberwolf 37 machine. That Pontiac at Casey Carrington. Pace car pulls in. Casey brings him down to the green flag. And he fires off. Looks like he had a little bit of wheel spin right there right off the bat. Everybody's able to make it through turn number 1. We're off to a good start. As you see, they think about going 3 wide around Dillon there. As Dalton Wilson goes on the outside of the 91. As Colby's thinking about doing the same as well, but Tim's starting to fall back. Looks like Tim might have gone to the wall there a little bit. A little bit of McLean Childers action there. Thankfully, nobody else got caught up in that. Joshua Dunn almost got smacked there. No caution, we're able to keep it green. Casey Carrington out front, followed by Craig Martin in 22. Josh Dillon, the 18 machine, he's up to 3rd. Logan Hamilton run 4th. Daniel Giroux in the 92, 5th. Cal Ether up 4 spots. Dalton Wilson, your biggest mover so far, up 6. The 7th spot in the 99 machine. He just got past Legal and Fast, 36 right there. This car number 20 is looking to go low. We're 3 wide. Dalton's into the wall. Nick gets into him. Rosenberg gets into Nick. Chris Lewis as well. The caution flag is out for that one. As you see up here, you got Nick, Dalton Wilson in the wall, then Nick gets into him. Dylan has nowhere to go. Chris gets into both of them. Everybody else able to get through unscathed. Bring out your first caution already. Tim got into the wall a little bit there. Could have been a lot worse than what it was, but we're off to a rough start tonight. Top 5 stay out. Everybody after that drops in. Your top 5, Casey Carrington, Craig Martin, Josh Dillon, Logan Hamilton sitting 4th, Cal Ether 5th. John Russo up to 6th. Steve Melnick sitting 7th, and Daniel Giroux is coming out of the pits in 8th. All right, lights are out on the pace car. Field's getting re-racked right now. Showtime Racing is going to bring them to the restart zone here in a little bit. Pace car pulls off. Casey brings him into the restart zone. He fires off. Green flag's out. Casey gets himself a nice jump there. Josh Dillon's going to fill the inside there. As here comes Cal Ether as well on the inside. Logan Hamilton making his way. Craig got hung on the outside there a little bit. Seen somebody getting loose off before there. Mitchell Marks, Steve Melnick. A little bit of car contact there going into 1 and 2. Put Melnick in the wall. Joshua Dunn's able to get by. Last week's winner right there, the 7 car. Ooh, Tim and Melnick get together. Then Nick had locked him up right into Melnick. Yellow flag is out once again. Looked like Melnick checked up a lot more than what Averill was expecting. Averill just spins him right around. Ryan Board legal fast here. See what he sees. Well, yellow flag is out once again for Tim Averill getting into Steve Melnick. Then Nick Yuriko locking him up and going right into Melnick, T-boning him. All right, your top 5. Casey Carrington out front, followed by Josh Dillon, Cal Ether 3rd, Logan Hamilton 4th, Craig Martin 5th. Dalton Wilson sitting 6th, Daniel Giroux 7th, Elijah Enos 8th, Mitchell Mark 9th, Chris Lewis coming out 10th. I probably jinxed him. Looked him back and told me that he was my pick, and I'd probably speak to him victory lane. First 2 cautions, he's gotten a piece of it. Sorry about the jinx there, Tim. Lights off the pace car. Casey Carrington, Josh Dillon going to be leading the field into the restart zone. Pace car is off. Casey brings him into the restart zone. He fires off early. Kyle's able to get a good jump. Fill in that bottom line there. Looks like Kyle's going to move himself up to 2nd. Dalton Wilson there on the high side. He's trying to make his way up into the top 5 once again. You see that 43 of Elijah Enos on his way up as well. He's a fast car. He was second fastest in practice. See, the 43 got a little bit loose off of 4 there. He's able to save it, keeps it going. And he got loose there again. That 43 is giving that car and that right rear all she can handle right now. You see the 22, Craig Martin's looking under Dalton Wilson there as they go into 3 and 4. Craig gets a little bit loose and let up. Field's trying to get by the 36 right now. He's a lap down. Everybody's getting loose off of 4 there. Except for that guy out front. The 37 at Casey Carrington. He's got himself over a second gap, the second place of Kyle Ether. Dalton Wilson really sending it in there. As the 43 is able to get by Craig Martin there. That was a battle for 6. As the 43 challenges the 99 for 5th spot here. Colby Wells making a move on the 91 there. This is a battle for 11th. As you see Dylan Rosenberg catching the wall there going into 1. Elijah Enos right now your biggest mover, up 12 spots up to 6th. As Kyle's able to keep that gap right there at 1.1. Him and Casey just pacing themselves right now. Chris Lewis with another pass. Getting by the 92. As Colby's trying to get by on the low side as well. Elijah's still working on Dalton. That's a battle for 5th. Colby Wells able to make his way around Chris Lewis. Colby's up to 8th right now. See Melnick there with a bunch of front end damage. Riding with Dalton Wilson out of Hagerstown, Maryland. Casey Carrington has opened up his 1 second gap to 1.92 seconds now. Kyle's starting to fall off and Logan's starting to close the gap on him. That's the battle for 5th right now. It's the best battle we got going on the track. As you got 3 cars battling there for that spot. Between Dalton Wilson in 99, Elijah Enos in the 43, and Craig Martin in the 22. Well, we got pits starting. It's not Dalton Wilson, but Josh Willett making his way into the pits here. It's Elijah Enos, Daniel Drew, Mitchell Martin into the pits as well. Logan Hamilton making his pit stop along with the 22, Craig Martin. Casey's opened up to 3 seconds now. The 37 bringing it in for some service. The 8 cars following him in as well. That's giving the lead to 99, Dalton Wilson. Chris Lewis up to 3rd. Joshua Dunn looking to get by him. Mitchell gets a little bit loose there. Collects it. Keeps it going. No caution. Dalton Wilson into the pits. That's likely to lead Dylan Rosenberg in the 91 machine. As you see a 37 make his way by, getting his lap back the hard way. 59, John Russo, tonight's sponsor, pulling in for some service on that machine. Your top three, Dylan Rosenberg out front, followed by the 7, Joshua Dunn, and the 111, Chris Lewis. Seen Josh get a piece of the wall there. Chris Lewis bringing it in. As 43 gets back on the lead lap there by getting by the 91. Dylan Rosenberg bringing it in to get some service there. As does Josh. That's going to cycle Casey Carrington back to the lead. Casey had a 3-second lead when he pitted over Kyle Ether. It looks like he's going to gain about a second on the field. Almost a second and a half. It's Casey Carrington out front by over 4 seconds, almost 4.5 seconds. Over second place, so Logan Hamilton in 27. Followed by a 43, Elijah Enos. Fourth will be Kyle Ether. He must have had a bad pit stop. Fifth, here comes Colby Wells. Sixth, you have the 22, Craig Martin there. And seventh, the 21, Quinn McLean. Joshua Dillon, 18th. Daniel Giroux in the 92, 9th. And Dylan Rosenberg sitting 10th after his pit stop. The field spread out. I think it's time for a little bit of Selena 52 truck stop. Hog crankers, crank it up. As soon as we go to that crank it up, the action really picked up there. As you've seen, Chris Lewis and Joshua Dunn got into a little bit of a scuffle there. Chris got loose off of 4, collects Josh, takes him through the grass. Thankfully, no caution came out. Casey Carrington by 6 seconds now over second place of Logan Hamilton. Followed by the 43, Elijah Enos. Cal Ether there in 4th. Colby Wells breathing down his neck. Right along with the 20 car as he tries to chase down Piss Drug Man up front there. As you see the 8 car looking low on the 43 there, coming off of 4. Got the 8 on the low line, 20 run middle, and the 43 up high. 3 different lines around here. 43 gets into the wall there a little bit. It's him and Kyle there. I don't know if it's net code or just the air being taken off the right side of that machine, but Kyle got a little bit loose off the exit. That allowed Colby to get by him on the high side. Now Colby's looking to get by the 43 and move Colby Wells up to 3rd spot. As the 43 gets in the wall there again a little bit, that's going to give the 8 the room to run. He uses the 1 as a pick there. Cal Ether up to 4th. Casey Carrington out here in his own zip code out front. This lap down machine. The 21, Quinn McLean looking to get by Logan Hamilton there in the 27. Trying to use them fresh tires to get a lap back right now. Your top 5 right now. Casey Carrington out front, followed by the 27 and Logan Hamilton. The 20 machine, Colby Wells sitting 3rd, Kyle Ether 4th. And the 43, Elijah Enos. . our aerial view from the blimp here at your leader. Casey just put it right up there against the wall and diamonding it off the two. This 3 and 4, he has much more of a natural line. He takes it up high and just keeps the radius up there. Logan Hamilton pitting early. Trying to get in front of Casey here. Let's see how this plays off for him. Craig Martin doing the same thing, along with the 43 Elijah Enos. 18 of Joshua Dillon. Mitchell Mark also pitting. Oh, you see Casey got into the wall there. Cal Ether is into the pits along with Colby Wells. Everybody's trying to leapfrog Casey here. Let's see if that brings the leader into the pit road. Yes, it does. Brings Casey in. That's going to give the lead to Dylan Rosenberg and Joshua Dunn. As now Dylan just has taken the lead. Casey with a slower pit stop compared to Kyle and Colby. Colby with a 14.85, Kyle with a 14.93, and Casey with a 15.13. I mean, he did have 6.5 seconds to play with there, so hopefully it pays out for him. As you see, last week's winner, the 7, Joshua Dunn, trying to get by Dylan Rosenberg. He gets credit for leading that lap there. As here comes the 43 and 8, they got fresh tires. They're going to be wanting to get by these guys. As you see, both the 20 and 43 get loose at the same time. Both chase it up the hill. As the 20 and 43 pass to 111 and Chris Lewis there. "19 laps to go. Joshua Dunn's out front, followed by Dylan Rosenberg. Casey Carrington, who's already pitted, he's going to be good to the end. Sitting in third. He's got about 5 seconds over fourth place of Logan Hamilton. $18 to go. Let's see if Josh brings it in this lap. Yep, Josh was bringing it in, along with Dylan Rosenberg as well. That's going to give the lead back to the 37 machine, Casey Carrington. battle for third right here between Kyle Ether and Colby Wells. So we got 17 laps to go. Colby gets a run there on the high side. $15 laps to go. Casey Carrington out front by 5.3 seconds over second place of the 27 machine, Logan Hamilton, followed by the 20 of Colby Wells. $12 laps to go for your leader, Casey Carrington, who's been out front for the majority of tonight's race. He's definitely locked up most laps led tonight. Man, Chris got loose off it too. $10 laps to go. Casey Carrington just trying to keep it clean. He's keeping that 5.5 second lead. See Sean McLean bring it into the pits there, get some service. Dalton Wilson with a little trip through the grass there. Seven laps to go. Casey Carrington out front by 6 seconds over Logan Hamilton in the 27 machine. Followed by Colby Wells. Kyle Ether fourth. Elijah Enos fifth. Craig Martin sixth. Josh Dillon seventh. Daniel Giroux eighth. Joshua Dunn ninth. Dylan Rosenberg rounding out your top 10. Your leader coming 5 to go. This Casey's just babying it around the track. Make sure not to make any mistakes before they go. Everybody's spaced out right now. There's no real battles going on for any position. Just can we make it to the end without a yellow? Two laps to go for your leader, Casey Carrington. So we'll ride along with Casey as he comes to the white flag. This has been the Casey Carrington Show all night long tonight, folks. Fastest in qualifying, just barely made it into the session on time. And it's damn near led every lap. Checker flag, Casey Carrington, your winner. Followed by Logan Hamilton, second. Colby Wells gets third spot. Callie Ether, fourth. Elijah Enos, fifth. Craig Martin getting sixth. And Josh Dillon, seventh. Casey Carrington bringing the win home for Showtime Racing. As you can see his teammates there celebrating with him. Wait and see if anybody's going to show up for their interviews or not. Fucking riveted interview by fucking Colby Wells.
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, you didn't get wrecked out on lap 5, Logan.
I know. It's amazing things happen when I can actually run the whole race.
You definitely seem to have a fast car tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think second place is definitely as good as it's going to get. Casey's just insane here. Honestly, didn't feel like I had the greatest pace. Like, I feel like Colby and Kyle definitely would have had something for me. But I just pitting a lap early on both of the.
And it
Yeah, I
definitely
mean,
paid off for you because it got you out in
yeah.
front of Colby and Kyle.
Yeah, I figured Elijah had pitted, and we would have plenty of gas to get to the end at that point. So might as well not stay out on the old tires. Come in and get some fresh ones, and let's try to hang on, even if they had a little fresher ones behind me.
I mean, I'm with you. I really don't think anybody had anything for Casey tonight. And second was probably the best that anybody else was going to do. And, yeah, like I said, your pit cycle definitely helped you out because Colby was coming there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know how I would have been able to race him, really. It's just I was so loose the whole time that it would have been hard for me to hold anyone off. But I'm happy to get second. This is the first race I've finished in like 4 races, so it's definitely good to bring a car home, and we'll see how next week goes because I think next week's Martinsville. Oh no, it's Dover. It's Dover. So,
Yeah, I was about ready to say, what's your outlook for Dover?
I usually run pretty well at Dover. I just gotta avoid slamming the wall for no reason, like I do sometimes. But it's definitely helped me a lot. I've ran a lot of laps there, just trying to save tires, learn how to save tires and stuff like that. So definitely excited. Hopefully, go one place better. But we'll have to see if Casey shows up.
All right. Let me go and give a shout out to all your people.
Yeah, just thanks to T.I., Chris, Kyle, Tim, Colby, all my teammates, all the sponsors that help us put this stuff on, and congrats to Casey on a pretty dominant race.
All right. Thank you, Logan. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you.
Casey, you got a copy?
Yeah, sorry, there was a message somebody sent me before the race that I was trying to reply to, but I think I did a pretty good job of it tonight.
Yeah, message well received. I was wondering where you're at, and you showed up just at the right time.
Yeah, and got the pole with 1 second to go in qualifying. I figure that's as strong of a message as anybody could send. But yeah, that went well. Hey, I didn't get wrecked by a teammate this time, or I didn't wreck a teammate this time, so it finished how last season should have.
What makes you so fucking good at this track?
I think because everybody else hates it, and I don't know. I mean, it was the first league race I ever did in any league was at this place, and I practiced like a whole weekend for it. So I think it was just I was willing to do more laps than any other human on iRacing was. So I don't know. It's kind of like Darlington, where it's not that I'm so good at it; it's just everybody sucks. I just suck a little less.
Well, if that's you sucking, man, I'd really hate to see you at anything that you're really good at.
I killed the tires on that second run. I mean, I was because Logan was starting to reel me in. I mean, I had a big gap from the pit cycle, but he was faster on the second run. Also, I mean, it helps too when you win the pole and you get to jump out to like a second lead going into turn one because the car is getting wheel spin all the way up into third gear, so it looks like there's ice on the straightaway.
Yeah, I think it was either the initial restart or the initial start. I saw you spun the tires.
Oh yeah, I almost threw it away. Very start, that would have been bad to come in, win the pole at the last second, and then spin out. I wouldn't be the first Showtime adjacent driver to win the pole and then spin out at the start of the race, but we'll save that for if he gets a podium this season. I'll hop in and give you some trivia on that.
What's your outlook for next week at Dover?
You know, Logan's going to be tough to beat. It's probably going to come down to him and Colby and Kyle. Kyle's pretty good there. Josh Dillon's had a good run, so he might be a threat to win. But Should be a fun race to watch.
What's this watch shit?
I don't wear a watch.
I see you're saying something about this being a retirement race. I really hope not.
Yeah, I was supposed to retire last. If you remember at Rockingham last season when I no-showed the interview, that was supposed to be my last race in the league. And my teammate blinked as I was lapping him, so I spun him out and brought out a caution that cost me the win. And I was like, well, screw it, I'm not going to go out on that. So I did the rest of the season out of spite. And yeah, if it hadn't been for John Russo putting it on the schedule this season, then I wouldn't have even done this race. Charlotte last season would have been my retirement. And if I hadn't won the night, I would have done Dover, or not Dover, but Darlington. But thankfully, I was able to win the night, so I can take a break from stock cars for the rest of the spring.
That's some sad news. I mean,
Yeah, hey man, you gotta, if I'd never left, everybody'd be wanting me to leave. So.
isn't that the point? Isn't that the point to get the miles level there, where everybody?
Well, I don't know, man. It's kind of an uncomfortable feeling when you come in and win the pole, and everybody that you're rivals with are calling you daddy and trying to sign you to a team and calling me the GOAT and all whatever the chat was saying there after the qualifying lap. But yeah, I don't know. I have fun here, but yeah, without Miles and without Bryson, without Alphin, it's comes a little too easy. It's one of those things where it's like if nothing goes wrong, I'm going to win, and if something goes wrong, obviously that's a bad race anyway. So I don't know.
All right, Casey.
If you want to see, Bo, if you want to see more of the 37 and TI, you got to get Miles and Bryson and those guys back.
You know what? Miles doesn't like to reply to the DMs, so if he ever does watch us.
Well, I think there's an outstanding bill that needs to be paid for him to unload his trailer in TI, but you get in touch with the big man in the booth, and maybe you can work something out and bring him back.
All right, so you heard it here first, folks. Casey said unless competition steps up, he's not coming back.
Or unless if he wants to start paying me to race, I'll come back then too. But I'm not wearing the TI banner, so we'll have to. I guess we've reached an impasse on that.
All right, Casey, go give a shout out to all your Showtime racing people.
Yeah, shout out to those guys: Dylan, Daniel, Craig, Steve, Josh Dillon, my replacement. He's been running pretty well for a change. That's nice to see. I think the change in car helped him out. He's not one of those crappy Fords anymore. But shout out to those guys. I'm not scoring points for the team this season. Obviously, this is my only start, but still glad to help them out. Shout out to you for doing the broadcast. Shout out to Chris for keeping the week alive. Shout out to John Russo for putting this on the schedule, which is the only reason I came back. And shout out to everybody that watched the broadcast. Oh, and shout out to Daniel Drew's internet for not causing him to blink out when I lapped him this time. It was in the same corner too.
He did blink out there for a moment too.
No, well, thankfully I wasn't chopping down into his lane as it happened. So.
Yeah, thankfully we didn't have a repeat of that.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's Casey Carrington signing off. And we'll see you next week at Dover, everybody.